Hello, boys, babes, and all of you beans in between. Welcome back. What is up, and how are you? We have been busy. I am going to have this replay mod playing later, but we went ahead and got the top of the tower done. And I mind you, I'm going to point out, this is not the finished product. Obviously, the whole castle still needs to be built, and there's a lot more to do with it. But this is what we have so far, and it is pretty big. I got to figure out some better lighting. I think I'm going to end up doing some of these lights up there along the membrane that I ended up using to build that upper strip. But we went ahead and printed this out on a live stream. So we're going to end up putting some like lights on those. So there's light peering out of this build too. And someone suggested on stream we put a smaller globe in here and fill it with water, just to fill up the space, add some more detail to it. But we'll figure that out sooner and later. But I like how it came out. It gives me more space. All of this is meant so you can fly in and out and you can see everything around you. I think it came out pretty good overall though, so we are looking at that pretty nicely. However, the new problem I'm running into is I need to terraform some more of this. So we are going to have to tear out a whole bunch of the grass here and then raise it up a little bit more. I'm thinking we're going to have some sort of like distinct cliff drop off, and it's going to be in the center of their garden area that I'm going to mark out later. But we got to finish marking out where the rest of this primary first chunk of the castle is going to go, and then I'm going to start looking into and planning the next portion of the build that is going to go underneath here for the train station. And we might be, hopefully, going to go ahead and print out the next section of the dock before this episode ends, and if I don't, that'll be between this episode and next episode. But we're going to start working on that, but I got to get all the materials for that one in place again too. While we do have a fair amount of diorite and calcite and all the other stuff, we are still missing a good number of other things like the... what was the word before? I know we have some tough. I don't know if we have enough. So we'll be looking into, do we have enough of it? What all do we need? And starting to hopefully get that process underway too, which will be nice to go ahead and have that area spaced out. We also went ahead and got our friend Ferks a new bee. I'm excited for it, hopefully. And let's see what else we can get done today. And I will bring y'all back once we have some exciting news. Alrighty, so we have been doing a lot of terraforming, and it has been some proper chaos to get this done. I am still terraforming, as you can see, but I have chosen to do so using a lovely, lovely tool here that Create has given us, and that is these goofy little hand things. They can place blocks for you. Mind you, not always the most productive, not always the easiest to use, but I can admit it does make this 100 times faster and 100 times funnier to get done. So, in the process, you probably saw some of this in the replay. This is how we go about it, and I hope this has enough dirt in this to wrap this section, but there's some of that in it, and it just follows the track, and depending on where the track is, it affects where this is facing, what it is placing, and how it works, and it just keeps going. And we're gonna have dirt again. Unfortunately, though, that is actually all the dirt I have. I already did do a very long run. I have some grass blocks that unfortunately I don't have a ton of either. So that is actually the end of my ability to terraform right now. But once we get more dirt, we'll be finishing this up. However, as you can see, we have been properly committing to the idea of, wait, we have this magic ability, getting a cliff face here. Not my favorite terraforming job I've ever done, but you can see the shites, whatever that's called, type of stone mixed with some andesite to give it some texture. My end thought is that there will be some sort of water flow that is coming from within this tower, because I did incorporate water into the interior of this tower, as you can see in these stairs. I'm debating having some sort of water flow that comes out and leads down and creates a waterfall to build a pond down here, because I do know I want a water feature. However, I'm not confident as to how that shape will come out, or if it will even come out of the building at all, or it'll just be a spring coming off top of the hill. So, we have done this, obviously. Still need dirt. Gotta go get some more. Gonna find an area nearby that I don't care about and just tear the ever-loving crap out of it instead of mining for it like I have been, because I've been in the caves under here grabbing every other pocket of dirt I can grab. So, once we've gotten this fully terraformed, it's not like done. We will probably do some more that wraps around this way up onto the mountain eventually. But at this moment, this is where we're starting so that we can extend the original design I made for this back out to here and hopefully continue to grow the space so that we have like a devoted storage room in addition to what we're going to have underneath inside the mountain itself. So, gotta clean this up. Pretty proud of that so far. It's not my best terraforming work ever, but it isn't bad. Like, I got all this grass. We're going to come in and hand place some grass in a minute. But it is not too shabby, if I do say so myself. So, what else are our goals today? Well, in addition to this, I do believe my next goal is to set up some sort of minimalized tree farm over here. It's not going to be a permanent one, but it will be one I will be using for a little bit in the name of getting just some easy to use, easy access wood that is not reliant on me going back over to the other village to chop down spruce by hand. So I'm thinking I will take a schematic of this and then transfer it to my creative world, keep testing with it, and then put some sort of small, I think we're going to go with oak tree farm over here so that we can have it automatically farming and have that to our availability when we need it. Unfortunately, over here is not always loaded in to be running when we're up there, so it won't be running all the time, which will actually probably be good so it doesn't overflow. But that's our plan for that. We'll definitely get that done, and I think our next goal is to do some tidying and better storage design inside here, because none of what I've set up in here is permanent, nor is it intended to be permanent. I'm also now realizing I left my light detection on, which is probably for the best that I check it, but I had that on because I wanted to make sure I didn't get any mobs spawning up there. But yeah, no, I need to come through here and do some basic clean house, get rid of and pack up some of this material, and I think my end goal is to establish some sort of storage wall here in addition to a small storage wall over there, just for a miscellaneous collection of create mod tools, miscellaneous collection of ores that get used all the time here, and then a couple just loose building blocks will be moved out and up into the main area. So we're gonna get to do some cleaning. I swear, I don't know how, but this farm is duping buckets. I don't know how it's doing it. I don't know what's happening or in what name, but I have not added more buckets to this. And every time I come back over here, there are more buckets. Every time I come back through, I empty it up into the point of them touching this. This thing is duping buckets, and I don't know how. And I'm curious if there's another way to do it, like I can dupe other items. Not that I need to, but I just have buckets coming out my ears. Because this would mark... Where are they? Yeah, 2 other stacks that I already had from collecting them in there. 3, sorry. I'm just collecting buckets at this point. I don't have any need for this many buckets. But we have them. I I don't know. We're going to spend some time in here doing some organization, figuring that out. But we are going to get that tree farm built pretty quickly. Not going to take too long. Should be fairly straightforward. I will... Oop. Need to stop smacking my face into a wall. Need to come and figure out how many saws we're using. But I definitely think we're going to do oak trees because those are the best at compacting. And then I also have the apples for if I ever need them for something else. So, let's get this copied and moved over to my creative world. And then we're going to get a tree farm built. I'll bring you back when we're on our way with that. Alrighty, with some great effort, we have actually come through and cleaned up in here. It was something I was going to work on. I went ahead and established some sort of barrel organization on both sides. Please ignore that. Those are actually the lighting sources I wanted to use for the space. However, I have to farm them by hand. They don't just automatically grow. I have to sit here and bone meal them to get anything from it. And then I have to silk touch it all the way up to get enough. To do that, though, I have to have, I believe it's 9 apiece. So those will give me one more. But we've been slowly working those into the build just because they have a more sci-fi-esque energy to them. We are apparently on a thing. It's fine. But we have managed to do some tidying up in here in addition to some other things. I did get rid of the pillar that was here. Got that all filled back up from sitting out of the range of it. Have not managed to end up with too many duplicated buckets. But there are some here and there. It's fine. Just a couple. Not the end of the world. But we have done that. So there's some organization. These are empty shulkers. We get stuff in and out of here. Just miscellaneous rock type. Shiny stuff, wood things, more shiny stuff, you know, the whole 9 yards. All the things that I could possibly need are now stored within this monstrosity. And I haven't added any more farms yet, but we did just entirely just do a quick tidy up. Just a quick little tidy up. Everything should be good. Finally figured out why this wasn't working. I needed to make some of these. I now have them, and plenty of them. And the big thing we're wondering up here now is what do I want to put in? Oh, I forgot. I also made a way out physically, so you can technically get in and out of here. You can't get on the boat without an elytra yet, but you can now get in and out and up and down from the interior of the boat with these ladders up here. Is it a bit of a pain to move around up here? Yeah, sure, but you can get up here, and it works. Not sure what I'm going to do up here, but it is a thing. It's all up here. We're doing great. And it is all tidied up. Ignore that. That's for an achievement I'm working on. Oh, and I did go ahead and get my wood farm built. It is just oak trees, and it's all just sitting down over here. It is nothing terribly special, but it is a handful of oak trees. And it has been running like it's no one's business. I actually emptied over 3 rows of this already. Took it up there. Made... Oh, that was impressive timing on a click. Made a whole bunch of different pieces and components I needed up there, and we have been continuing to collect the variety of things that this has been giving us. So we have been right busy on getting that stuff knocked out. I did also spend a little bit of time getting us some more dirt so that we could finish up clearing and filling in the rest of this section, which is not a ton, but I went ahead and got an entire shulker box worth. Should be able to knock it out once I pop our little mechanic back out here and get it filled back up. So I'm going to work on knocking that out and do a little bit more touch up on making this look nice. I do know that I would want to make this waterfall somehow work. Gonna figure that out. I think for now we're just going to have like a wall right here and the water's going to flow down. And we're going to fill that area up right there for a pond. That'll still get some work later down the road, but that is about where we are for that. So I'm going to get that knocked out and see what else I want to get done, and if anything. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, so I have definitely gotten the water in. I did some little bit of tearing out down there. I don't like this is the final form. Definitely am going to have to, hi Kit, do some more work around this. Kit very much does agree with me that it needs a little more work. But as you can see, I have my light stuff on because I'm trying to make sure I don't end up with creepers up on these cliff sides so that when I am working on it, I'm not getting dive bombed by creepers because that would end very poorly for everyone. But I do want to come in and do some sort of like effect with this to make it look like the splash is coming off with glass. To be determined as to how detailed that's going to end up being. Did I miss a spot? How did I miss this spot? Okay. Okay, that's weird. I'm just gonna leave it for now. We'll figure out what's going on there later. But so far, I really like it. Kit's got a lot to say about it. But the next thing that we're gonna try and go ahead and knock out, it's not gonna take too long. I'm gonna try and gather a bunch of what I have left from prior builds to try and set up what we will need to print the next section of this. Good heavens, dude. Yeah, I know. There's so much going on. But we're gonna try and get the next pieces so we can get this printed for next time, with next time, whatever happens with it. But I need to make sure we have enough diorite, copper. The copper's gonna be the big one. I don't think I have any more of that specific type of copper, so that's gonna be something I have to set aside to do later. But making sure we have a couple shulker boxes worth of all of it, and we're just gonna set it out here and see how much we can get and see how much more work I'm gonna have to do with that before we wrap up for the day. So let's get that done. Alrighty, so the good news is I have plenty of certain things and not a ton of others, but we got deep slate, we got the Viridium. We don't need a ton of Viridium, so that's the good news on that. I don't actually remember how much I used in the secondary towers that are designed, but it's not a ton, so that should be good to go. I know for sure the things I don't have a lot of are the reed blocks. These inner light source blocks, those come from a really weird vine that I'm gonna have to go farm a bunch of because they are a pain to get. I do have limestone. I do have copper available to turn into this. I just need to go sit down and do all the aging process. I have enough of this back at the base. We have plenty of diorite. We have plenty of andesite. We're gonna need a lot of quartz. The good news is I don't need to go mine at all because of the Botania mod. I can take the quartz blocks that I buy from the villagers and throw them into the little mana pool, and it turns it back into regular quartz, and I just have to go and smelt that up, and we're all good to go there. So that is some good news for us on that end. I have plenty of these light blocks because they are nice and easy to get. The biggest thing I do not have a lot of is down there at the bottom. It's not just deep slate. At the very bottom, if you go all the way down here, the base block past the basalt, past the deep slate is Scorchia. I only mined the bare minimum I needed for it the first time, so I am going to have to go find a whole bunch of Scorchia and see what we can do about that. So, copper, Scorchia, and a whole bunch of the little light blocks that are in the center of that thing. Honestly, we should be able to print that out, no problem. So I'm going to go work on getting that stuff done between episodes so that we can have this look nice and awesome for next time. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to drink water, take care of yourselves, and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye now.